Hello, everyone. This is Shereen Whipple. We're gonna wait for just another minute or so as people are still joining the meeting. We'll start momentarily.
Hey, Shireen, just so you know, I have Chief Lewis and Patrick here with me from Knight County, just if you're looking at quorum.
Oh, okay, perfect. Okay, give me just a moment. All right, so we're ready to go.
All right, thank you, Shireen. Welcome everybody to the Emergency Preparedness Working Group on January 18th, 2023. Mrs. Whipple, can you go ahead and start agenda item number 1, roll call?
Jared Franco,
Here.
Gary Simpler. I see you on, Gary. You need to unmute yourself, press star 6.
I'm here. Can you hear me?
Thank you. Paul Melendrez. He's our presenter, so hopefully he'll sign in soon. Lee Cavanis. Lee, are you on? Billy Samuel.
Present, and just so you know, there was an issue down in Esmeralda, so Paul might not be joining us today.
Okay, thank you. Scott Lewis.
Present.
Eric Holt.
I'm present. Good morning.
Good morning. Michael Dalton. He was having problems. I see him on there. Mike.
I'm here.
Okay, hello. You have quorum.
Thank you, ma'am. We'll move on to agenda item number 2, public comment. This is for discussion only. No action may be taken upon a matter raised under this item of the agenda until the matter itself has been specifically included on the agenda as an item upon which action may be taken. Public comments may be limited to 3 minutes per person at the discretion of the chair. Comments will not be restricted based on viewpoint. To provide testimony during this period of public comment via telephone, please call in anytime after 9 a.m. on the day of the meeting by dialing 1-669-219-2599. When prompted to provide the meeting ID, please enter 686-738-8625 and then press pound. When prompted for a participant ID, please press pound. When asked to provide public comment, please press star 6 to unmute your phone and star 6 again when your comments are complete. There is a lag between the live stream and YouTube for about 60-90 seconds. So we'll give anyone on YouTube a second to catch up. In the meantime, is there anyone in the room that has public comment?
This is Shereen Whipple for the record. Did any of the voting members sign in? Lee, can you hear me?
Yeah, this is Lee from Elko. I can hear you.
Okay. And then Paul Melendrez, can you hear me? Oh. We can't hear you. Whoops.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Thank you. I'm using audio, phone, and video Zoom, so sorry guys, I got a little bit going on over here.
Okay, perfect. Thank you, Paul.
All right, so there's no public comment in the room. Anything online?
This is Shereen Whipple for the record. There's nothing online and no written comment as well.
All right, so with that, we'll close out agenda item number 2 and move on to agenda item number 3, approval of the minutes. This is for discussion or possible action. Chair Jared Franco, the working group will discuss and review the minutes of October 26, 2023 meeting. The working group will determine whether to approve the meeting minutes. I will entertain a motion if there's no discussion to approve last meeting's minutes.
This is Shereen Whipple for the record. I notice Lee Cabanis is under Esmeralda County and should be under Elko County. So I will change that.
This is Billy Samuels with that. I saw the same correction with that, so moved.
Okay, got a motion. Can I get a second?
Eric Holt, I'll second it.
All right, all in favor, say aye.
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 All opposed, say nay. All right, item passes. With that, we'll close out agenda item number 3 and move on to agenda item number 4. The rollout of the new emergency preparedness working group report submission update. Our fiscal manager, Judith Lyman, will introduce a new process of reimbursement for the local jurisdictions for the EPWG grant from DM Homeland Security. So before she starts, I just wanted to give a huge shout out to not only our fiscal section, but our grant section for working together to create this new process. I think it's going to be huge for us to move this working group over to a more proper channel to make it easier for everyone and to ensure that we're continuing to get this money out to the counties the most efficient way possible. So give a huge shout out, and we'll let Ms. Lyman go ahead and explain the new process for you all to submit your reimbursements.
I'm trying to figure out how to share my screen here. Oh, sorry. I'm new to Zoom. Sorry about that.
Can everyone see the screen?
Okay, this is the new quarterly reporting website dashboard. And it shows you this dashboard starts with the 2021 award, and it shows you that we've received 10 requests. We've processed all but 3 of them, and you can see those 3 down in this expenditures pending section. And then if you scroll down, you can see the total requests received are in blue and the total approved requests are in green. If there are any denied, it'll show up in red. I doubt we'll be denying anything, but it's always possible. And then on this right-hand corner right here is the quarterly reporting form that you guys would fill out. You click on that link, it brings up the standard form, and it's similar to what you've been submitting in the past. It's got all the same boxes. You enter the date, your agency, the quarter you're submitting for, the beginning balance, then each of the different sections. There's a personnel, fringe, travel, equipment, supplies, contractual, construction. You put in the amounts you're requesting for reimbursement in whatever category you're requesting that reimbursement for. And then in the bottom, you put reimbursement total. There's a box to drag and drop the files that you're using for supporting documentation. There's a box for any narrative. And then your point of contact information, your name, phone number, and email. And then you just submit, and there's a little checkbox here. If you want to get a copy of your submission, you can check that box and it'll get emailed to you. And then you submit that, and it will then notify us via email that there's a reimbursement request that has been submitted, and we can go in and review and process that reimbursement request for you. So that's the quarterly reporting dashboard, and I believe we sent out the links to those. And then there's also
Did
sorry.
everyone receive those links yesterday?
They
Those
came
smart
from
sheets?
Sue's.
I didn't, this is Pamela Hattie from, for the record. I did not receive anything.
I think it might have came to us, Pam. I just forwarded it to you. So
Oh,
hopefully,
okay.
maybe they just came to the EMs and we'll send them out. So I apologize for the delay. That's Billy Sanders.
No problem.
Yeah, and if it doesn't work from Billy sharing it to you, Pam, just send us a note and we can add you, add your email to the smart sheet so you can have the access as well.
Okay, thank you.
Did you want me to wait or do you want me to go to the declining balance?
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay, and then there's also a declining balance dashboard that I'm sharing now. And this shows the total over the 5-year award that we have, and then how much has been spent to date, and then by county. And then if you scroll down, you can see each county, how much you've got in each quarter, and then how much has been reimbursed, actuals. So you can see what your beginning balance would be based on how much has been requested. And there's a link on here to go back to the quarterly reporting dashboard. And on the quarterly reporting dashboard, there's also a link to get you to this declining balance dashboard.
And very soon, Sue's, our grants manager, is working on individual dashboards for each county. That will have only the county's finance information for EPWG. That will be rolled out soon and pushed out to you all. But for right now, this is all we need to get the program started and going. So for 20 grant award 22 and forward, we'll be using this new process. So we'll be pushing out the new sub-award that was presented last meeting here within the week for you guys to re-sign it and have those awards released. Go ahead.
Unless there are
Jared, I
any
have a question,
questions.
Paul Morgis.
Go ahead, Paul.
Jared, this is Paul. Yeah. So the dashboard we're looking at right now, those aren't real actuals, are they, for 22?
These are actuals based on 21 submissions for reimbursement, as well as the amounts allocated for 22 through 25, 25, yeah. 22, 24.
Okay. Understood. Thank you.
This is an overall actual, so it's not individualized per year, it's the entire 5 years is what this is
Okay.
showing.
Yeah, because I know that I haven't drawn against 22 and I just saw some numbers. So thank you.
Uh-huh. Unless there are any questions, I can shut down.
Does anyone else have any questions, comments, concerns?
Hey, Jared, I think the one thing that my only issue was I tried to do this yesterday. This is Billy Samuels. I tried to do this yesterday. And then you have to like seek approval and submit. I don't know if there's a cleaner way to do that or what that's going to look like moving forward. And I know this is a new process. So just something to kind of think about. It's going to be time consuming for those first initial sign-ons, but after that, should it be clean or what's your guys' thought?
I'm not understanding what you're saying. You're saying to get access to the smart sheet?
Yes.
Yeah, so that I don't think all we need to do is just set you up an account, but that should be fairly simple. We can do that on our end by just adding your emails to the dashboards. And then you should be able to sign on without any issue.
Sign up for the account smart sheet. He's already added it. The people
Okay.
who are on this, they're added to the sheet, but they have to sign in and create like a free smart sheet account in order to access it.
Did you hear Sue's back there?
I did. I'll do that. I stopped doing the process because I thought it was going to be quick and easy yesterday. I just didn't have time to dive into it, but thank you all. I'll I'll have Pam start putting her forth the time on that because she's going to use this more than I. Thank you.
Yeah, from what I remember, I don't think it's too invasive of trying to set up an account. I think, I think it's just the normal who you are type questions, but it should be fairly simple. And after that, you'll have access to everything you need. Is there any other, and to go along with that, if you guys have any questions or concerns or having issues, creating an account, please reach out. We can assist you with that as well. Is there any other questions, comments, or concerns? All right, with that, we'll close out agenda item number 4 and move on to agenda item number 5. I will update the group on the amounts. Once we have it pulled up. So currently, these are the amounts that we have available. We are still waiting on actual cash balance forward from the last grant that we had approval for. A couple of years ago, and then there was leadership changes and we never actually got the cash. So when we asked about it this previous year, we had to submit a bunch of documents again. But I was informed by DOE that we should have an answer by next week, that they have all the documentation they need. So hopefully we have an answer on our balance forward by next week. And we'll push out that information via email to all of the counties. So right now we're looking at the 21 balance is still out there for the counties. And then we're going to release 22 through 25 on the new subaward that was presented last meeting. We'll get that subaward out to you guys within the week. And then we can move forward with the new process. So up top is the actual balances, and then down below is all of the balances that have been either pending or have been paid off of the previous balance forward that we are waiting on. Does that make sense? So we don't foresee it being an issue. We're just waiting for the actual cash portion that we've already got the approval from to match. So is there any questions or comments of about these balances?
Jared, this is Billy Samuels. I don't know if you're going to get into the process. I'll let Pam, I'll defer to her on the balances, but I have a question on the process, unless that's going to be very different, if you're going to get into that.
No, go ahead, Billy.
No, my question is, so we've been going back and forth the last several meetings that we've had with this group and DOE, and are we doing MOUs? Is all the money coming forth straight to each county? I don't know where we stood on that. I don't think it ever landed. So I'm actually glad to see Ms. Ladich on here as well, to see what I have to get something to my Board of County Commissioners, and it's been kind of hazy in the past. So I want to know which way we're moving forward, so I can present to them what we need to get things going on our side.
Are you talking about the notice of award for 22?
That, and moving forward, again, if this is just going to, if you're handing us the counties just all the funds, great. If this is going to be an annual thing, great on the awards. But I remember last time we were talking about like MOUs. I don't know if that's still in play or not, but I just kind of want to see where we stand on the award letters themselves and that process.
So at the state, and Sam can clarify this, but we're not allowed to sign MOUs. So it will be a notice of subaward. It'll just be a shortened version of the subaward that we already send out for our other grants. But we cut out all of the things that are necessary or applicable to this funding source. So it will be an annual notice of subaward. So we'll start with 22, 23, 24, 25. We'll have different subawards for each year. But it's basically one sheet with your scope of work and budget for each one of those years. And
Jared, were we able to I think last time we talked about possibly doing it in 5-year increments because that's what they say. Is that something that we're going to look at, or are you guys diverting back to the 1 year?
So the issue with that is we don't receive the funding all up front for 5 years. We only receive it yearly. So they give us the number for the 5-year grant, but we don't receive the actual cash. We receive the actual cash on an annual basis for that 5 years. So to avoid any conflict or situation that we're currently in right now, waiting for the ballots forward, I think it's best that we just stick on the annual plan so that we have the actual cash to sub-award to you all to ensure we're keeping it clean, just like, you know, DOE and it gave us this program and intended it to be. Does that make sense?
No, and yeah, that works out well. I just, for some reason, I thought we talked about 5 year at a time. I do like the 1 year, and the sub-award letter, if we get that works for us. That's easy.
Yeah, I mean, obviously the 5-year award would be easier, but unfortunately we don't get the cash up front for that 5 years. So if it changes, you know, then I think we should revisit and talk about it. But right now, I think it's easier and cleaner just to keep it on the annual basis.
For Clark, that works for us.
Thank you, sir. You have
Hey,
a question?
Yeah, Jared, this is Lee Cabinets from Elko. So, on just the scope of work aspect of that, is that just gonna remain kind of what it's always been, you know, kind of here's the left and right limits of the award money, or do we have to provide you input into that scope of work?
No, but it'll stay the same as it has in the past. Basically, the only thing that's really changing is the actual sub-award cover page of the information, the you know, the terms and conditions of the grant. It's all on one page for you guys to put the information in and get it signed by, you know, either your office or whoever needs to sign it at your counties.
Okay, and for my purposes, we may track it a little bit differently in fiscal here, but is it going to remain a grant, or is it like pass-through dollars? How is that going to be referred to?
So right now the language still is grant, right? But it's not. It's a non-competitive grant. It's a funding source that is allocated to the 6 counties that DOE does their work in. So that's a conversation that will continue between us and DOE. But right now it's still a pass-through grant, non-competitive pass-through grant for the 6 counties.
Okay, thank you. I just want to be sure I get it in the right box for fiscal affairs so we track it correctly, you know.
Absolutely, yeah.
Thank you.
All right, is there any other questions, comments, concerns?
Jared, this is Paul.
Go ahead, Paul.
In reference to, I know that the 20 has been closed out, but there was documentation sent for remaining ballots specific to Esmeralda. Those funds are still available, correct? We're getting ready to make a purchase. I just want to confirm that.
Yeah, so that's what the balance for that we're waiting on, that we've been informed we should have an answer by next week. Like I said, we had the approval a while ago, but the cash never came. So when we went back to ask for it, there was different, I don't know if it was leadership, but different contacts at DOE that basically we had to start the whole process over again. So okay, we should have an answer by next week per our DOE contacts.
Okay, just confirming. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Any other questions, comments, concerns? All right, we'll go ahead and close out agenda item number 5 and move on to agenda item number 6, RED program training calendar for local jurisdictions. Mr. Fansler will discuss upcoming trainings and exercises that will be beneficial for local jurisdictions.
Good morning, everyone. John Fansler. I'm responsible for the radiation training program here at Division of Emergency Management. A couple things we're working on. We're working on building up our training program a little bit more to offer more classes. Right now, we're working a radiation specialist class in Carson City around the May timeframe. We're still trying to coordinate that. Brent will talk later about calibrations for Southern Nevada and the I-80 corridor. We're also planning a whip road treks. It's a large-scale exercise on the I-80 corridor involving our whip shipments. That's going to be around September 2024. If we have jurisdictions that are online in that area, you should have heard about it, or you will be hearing about it soon. We are also looking to bring in some more MERT classes in the spring and summer in preparation for that large-scale exercise. And that is all I have right now. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Any questions, comments, concerns for Mr. Fansler? All right, we'll close out that agenda item and move on to number 7. Updates from the Nevada Division of Emergency Management, Homeland Security, RAD Program Coordinator. Mr. Harper will update the working group on all upcoming calibration visits to local jurisdictions.
Good morning. As we spoke about before, we're planning to do our calibrations in April. I'm just waiting for confirmation on the vehicle. Once we get that, I will send out a schedule. We're planning to be in Southern Nevada the first part of April, Washoe County area the next week, and then Eastern Nevada the week after that. We will be offering refresher training as we do those calibrations, and all you have to do is let me know that you want that. That's all I got, Jared.
Thank you, sir. Any questions, comments, concerns for Mr. Harper? All right, closing out that agenda item and moving on to number 8, EPWG jurisdiction presentation. This is for discussion only. Emergency manager for Esmeralda County, Mr. Melendrez, will present Esmeralda County's utilization of EPWG funds for 21 and 22. Go ahead, sir.
Thank you, Jared. Thank you, guys. You may or may not be aware, but we're working a significant incident in our county right now, so I've been juggling back and forth. Thank you again for the time to do this presentation. If we can go to the next slide, please. Oh, let's go back one.
Oh, sorry.
Okay. So the towns that are within the sphere of influence of our county is Goldfield, Silver Peak, Dyer, and Gold Point. Most of them, with the exception of Dyer, are working and have been working mine sites within the county. Our current county population, according to the census, is 743. The county seat is in Goldfield. You can see we cover a vast area of just over 3,500 square miles. The county was founded in 1861, makes it one of the oldest counties. The county seat has been moved 3 times. That was in other counties at certain times. And we are in the 4th congressional district. Thank you. Next slide. So we have a great working relationship with our bordering counties, which include Mineral County, and they are phenomenal. They have been a wonderful partner to us, and we are working on some regional plans with Mineral County and the tribe out there. Nye County, I had a great conversation with Chief Lewis this morning, working on our incident here at Nye in Esmeralda County this morning. Inyo County, we have a good relationship with their sheriff's office and their emergency management, as well as Mono County Sheriff's Office and their emergency management as well. We have a unique situation because our county does touch California, so we share some jurisdictional obligations to the citizens of both those counties that are not within the state. Next slide, please. So as I stated before, we have a lot of working mines within our community, living ghost towns, and a pretty good agricultural area as well in the Fish Lake Valley area. And if you don't know where we're at, our county is between Reno and Las Vegas. Next slide, please. So this is a little bit of recent history. The Esmeralda County Commissioners in 2022 removed the Department of Emergency Management position from the Sheriff's Office. We had a lot of work to do to square away EPWG funding and grants. This is public information. I wanted to make that known. And then on August 8th, 2022, we set up the Emergency Management Office, and I took the coordinator position at that time. As you can see, that the annual salary for the full-time DEM coordinator is $45,000 annually, and that comes out of EPWG funding. Next slide, please. So some of the things that we cover, we do have an operational EOC, and out of EPWG, as you well know, we utilize some of those funds to help pay the bills, literally the light bills, propane, phone lines, and internet. That picture there is of old Station 1 in downtown Goldfield, and there's another picture down the road, and just kind of give you, that's its current state. And next slide. So the Nevada Department of Emergency Management did an on-site monitoring last year, May of 23, and they audited 2016, 2017, 18, 19, 20, and 21. I had the pleasure of sitting through that with the folks from DEM. They were very professional. They did a great job. They asked a lot of questions, but testament to our folks in the county, we had a very informative package prepared for them, and we were able to get through the review and monitoring and received a letter of satisfaction in June of 2023. So that picture there is our EMTs. They're older gals doing a great job, and that's how I felt, the smiles they have on their faces when we got through that monitoring. So that's why I put that picture in there. Next slide, please. So projected costs, and you can see obviously through what Jared's already put up on the screen, personnel cost at $45,000, equipment, which is specific to fire and EMS, and quite a bit of that goes back to communications as well as actual equipment. So if Chief Samuels has any ambulances, old fire engines, things like that he'd like to give us, please let's talk, Billy, because I'm always looking for stuff. EOC support, we're looking to upgrade our meeting ability and web EOC equipment. I know that that's a fairly low number of the 5,759. That was the remaining balance, but it is a good start, and you know, to get equipment, much needed electronic equipment to update us. So next slide for 22. There's that picture again. That's that same firehouse that you saw about 4 slides ago. That's a circa early 1900s picture. So we're pretty proud of that. I mean, you get the horse-drawn, you know, fire equipment there. Fiscal year 2022, the award was $83,759.50. Again, the breakdown is personnel, training, radio communications. You can see that's a big number there. We're trying to improve our technology to have our first responders with good communications. And then you can see that EOC support number went up to $7,000 from previous 21 potential. So next slide, please. Okay, so there's my contact information. When Billy calls and sends me all his free stuff from Clark, it would be appreciated. So a little bit of history, guys. I'll close out with this. The longest fight, that gentleman there, you see his name is Joe Gans. And the longest fight in the history of the United States happened in Goldfield in 1906, September 3rd. And my message to you and my partners is that I am in the longest fight as the Emergency Management Coordinator in Esmeralda County. We're a frontier county doing the very best we can with limited equipment. But just remember that when you drive through 95, you're in that fight with us when you pass through our towns and our communities. So one county, one fight. Thank you guys for your time, unless there's any questions.
That was awesome, Paul. I appreciate that. Any questions, comments, concerns for Mr. Melendrez?
Good job, Paul. This is Eric Holt with Lincoln County. Nice presentation.
Thanks, Chief. I want to talk to you soon, so let's hook up in the next week if that works for you.
Yeah, you bet.
Thanks, sir.
Awesome. All right, if that's all the questions, comments, and concerns for Esmeralda, we'll go ahead and close out agenda item number 8 and move on to agenda item number 9. This is the second portion of public comments for discussion only. No action may be taken upon a matter raised under this item of the agenda until the matter itself has been specifically included on the agenda as an item upon which action may be taken. Public comments may be limited to 3 minutes per person at the discretion of the chair. Comments will not be restricted based on viewpoint. If you would like to provide testimony during this period of public comment via telephone, please call in anytime after 9 a.m. on the day of the meeting by dialing 1-669-219-2599. When prompted to provide the meeting ID, please enter 686-738-8625, then press pound. When prompted for a participant ID, please press pound. When asked to provide public comment, please press *6 to unmute your phone, then *6 again when your comments are complete. Is there any comments in the room? Is there any online or in virtual land?
This is Shereen Whipple for the record. There are none online or any written.
Okay, we'll close out agenda item number 9 and move on to agenda item number 10, adjournment. This is for discussion or possible action. I will take a motion to adjourn.
This is Eric Holt. I'll make a motion. We adjourn.
Thank you, sir. Is there a
Lee
second?
Cabness, I'll second.
All right, motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Bye.
Aye.
All opposed? Hearing none, motion passes. Thank you all. Please be on the lookout for that subaward. It will be coming within the next 5 business days. Thank you all.
Good job, guys.